First tonight, should Wisconsin bring back universal driver's education? The state stopped reimbursing school districts for driver's ed nearly 20 years ago.
But in today's Project Drive Safer report, Ben Jordan is sharing why a bipartisan group of lawmakers believes it should be a priority to address reckless driving behavior.
Stevie Davis has been a private driver's ed instructor in Milwaukee for decades. He teaches teens who need driver's ed to get a license.
I take pride in what I do. I want to be the best at what I do.
And adults who could skip it altogether once they turn 18.
Do you think too many teens are slipping through the cracks, not being able to afford driver's education?
Yes, some of them are 18, 19, early 20s. And I asked them, I said, why didn't you take driver's ed? And they told me that's the reason why. They have enough money, they couldn't afford it.
Based off U.S. Census Bureau data and Wisconsin DOT numbers, roughly 61% of 16 and 17-year-olds have completed driver's ed.
I think driver's education would be something that we also need to rethink.
Governor Tony Evers thinks the solution is bringing back universal driver's ed.
Obviously, it's kind of fallen off most people's plates.
Up until 2004, the state set aside millions of dollars each year to reimburse school districts that were required to offer driver education as a class in high school.
1, 2, 3.
Flash forward to this year, and the Wisconsin Insurance Alliance is pushing the state to use $6 million it pays annually in industry fees to fund driver's ed for students on free or reduced lunch. Governor Evers says it should be available to all students, regardless of family income.
Driver's ed is not all that expensive. Just segmenting a group of people saying, well, if you're on free and reduced lunch, you're more likely later to drive inappropriately. I think that's a stretch.
Republican State Representative Bob Donovan also believes it's a critical investment.
I would even support that it be mandatory for our kids to take those classes.
Donovan says he's working on legislation in an effort to make it a reality. What would need to take place in order to convince a majority of lawmakers that it's worth the cost?
I like the fact that in my discussions with the insurance industry, their willingness to put up some money towards this effort. So I think it makes a lot of sense. And I think it would pay dividends down the road.
Donovan admits the proposal wouldn't address reckless drivers who are already behind the wheel, but he thinks it could make a difference for the next generation of drivers. Reporting in Milwaukee, Ben Jordan, TMJ4 News.
All right, thanks, Ben. Well, we wanted to know what you think, so we shared this poll on Twitter asking if state-funded driver's education should return. Well, 90% of you voted yes. Now, if you haven't had a chance to participate in our poll, there is still time.
To see more of our Project Drive Safer reports or send us a message about a story idea, go to projectdrivesafer.com.